All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's call this meeting to order. Today is April 14th, 2026. This is your 9 a.m. regular edition of Lavaca County Commissioners Court. And with that, we will begin with a roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Present.
Precinct 4 is
Not here.
out today. And the judge is here, so let the record reflect that 4 out of 5 of us are here, present and accounted for, and that is a quorum, and we will continue. And with that, I'm going to call on Commissioner Faircloth to give us our invocation today.
Let's pray. Well, Lord, our Lord, how grateful we are for you answering prayer and giving us beyond what we need. You have laid out the heavens and created everything in the sea and the air and on the earth. What an awesome God you are. There's none like you. And we just give you praise and glory for who you are. You know all our thoughts. There's not a word in our tongue that you don't know. You've even numbered the hairs on our head. And with me, that's subtraction. Appreciate you, God, for who you are. I ask you, God, to give us wisdom and favor as we go forward. Give us your grace, the power and the desire to do your will as we walk with you. God, help us. Continue to help us. Give us wisdom that's beyond us. And I just pray all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Wayne, for that powerful prayer. We also thank the Lord immensely for the wonderful rainfall that was sent to us this weekend. Some of you weren't as fortunate to get it. Some others were over abundant. Your abundance was overflowing. But anyway, we're thankful for the rainfall. We also want to keep our leaders in your prayers this week. Federal leaders, our President of the United States, got a lot on his plate. Can't imagine being in his shoes. Cannot. Tensions in Iran and putting people in harm's way. But anyway, we pray for our president as well. Pray for our state leaders. I know that they're drawing some lines in the sand of what they want to do on property taxes, and not sure I understand it all. But we look forward to the upcoming legislative session next year, and we'll start working on that process to see what happens and what are we going to do, how are we going to manage this. But we live in the greatest country in the world and the greatest state in the world, and I dare say the best county that ever existed. So I'm thankful for everyone that serves this county. You're all in this room today, and I appreciate every one of you. So anyway, keep President Donald J. Trump in your prayers as he makes decisions going forward. All right, announcements, public comments. I want to start off with one. We announced last week we were going to rush this because of we had some scheduling conflicts in the courtroom. Scheduling conflicts worked themselves out. The trial yesterday that was started on Monday, there was two cases going to trial. One pled out to 20 years before they could get him in, get the court convened or the trial convened. The next trial, the defendant skipped. He did not come to court. So there's a arrest warrant for that individual right now. Anyway, so we have no time constraints today going forward. So we can not leisurely take your time, but we don't have the time constraints we thought we did. Okay. Any other announcements? I think Greg, you wanted to mention something. If you want to come forward. This is not on your agenda, but Greg just wanted to announce some things that happened this weekend, so he just wants to.
Good morning. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Greg Merrill. I'm the emergency management coordinator for the county. First of all, I want to thank Commissioner Faircloth for praying for those of us with receding hairlines. So obviously, I need it more than others.
We just thought you shaved your head.
Well, I do, but that's just because I don't want to look like
It looks good.
But no, just really quickly, I want everybody to know, of course, first of all, beautiful rain this weekend on the western half of the county, northern half of the county. Lowest totals that I know of that we had were between 4 and 5 inches in the Shiner area, and then we had a couple of folks that reported over 8 inches north and east of Moulton. I don't know how much you had, Wayne, at your place, but probably
Over 6.
yeah. So just a beautiful rain. But with that beautiful rain comes, how is our river system functioning? And so we haven't had a chance to test it lately because this is really the first time we've had some water in the river in a very long time. But I do want to say this. So we have multiple ways of monitoring the river. Our primary monitoring of the river, we have a antenna that actually runs up into the bell tower here that is connected to river gauges. There's a gauge at Kaminsky, there's a gauge at Breslau, there's a gauge here on the Lavaca River here at the bridge. There's also a gauge at the 90A at the Navidad, and then also at Speaks. And so I'm gonna speak to the Lavaca River first. I knew something was wrong because I wasn't getting any readings off of the Kaminsky Bridge, and I wasn't getting any readings off the Breslau Bridge on Saturday. I kept saying that the water was at 2 foot, okay, and I knew the water was not at 2 foot. I had driven there myself and looked at it, and so I knew it wasn't. Come to find out yesterday, we used Lavaca Navidad River Authority uses a company called DataWise out of California to monitor the rivers. DataWise's system went offline Friday night at midnight for whatever reason. They don't know why it went offline. So there was no online monitoring. So I was doing it the old-fashioned way over the weekend. I was going and looking at, talked to a couple of our commissioners and things like that. But I was able to monitor it through the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration sites. And so I knew where the river was. But we have a backup to the backup. And Judge talks about this all the time. We need to make sure we have that. Back when the Kerrville happened in the Guadalupe River, I put a third system in place just because I wanted it. Tim and I talked about this, the judge. We use an app called Flood Alert, and you can put it on your phone. It's a great app to have. But I have alarms set on the rivers. And so, but this was my first opportunity to see if that was going to work. And I'm glad to say it worked because I had the alarm set for 16 feet on the river bridge here. And when it got to 16 feet, it went off and did that. And then last night I was sitting at my house about 6 o'clock, and all of a sudden the alarm started off my phone. I was like, why is the river's receding? I don't know why why is it phone? And I realized, that's the Navidad going off now. So it was on the bridge because we hit 20 feet. We crested at 20 feet of the Navidad last night about 7:30. And so, but it's already back down to 7 this morning. So the only place we still got water, we got 17 feet at Speaks right now, but I'm going to go there as soon as we get through the meeting. I just wanted everybody to know that the systems we have in place for the river are working. We are able to monitor the river. We are able to monitor the rise and fall of the river. And so I know that's a concern for folks sometimes, but I wanted everyone to know, again, this was just a great event. One of the things I told people, no one wants a flood, but understand this, it's healthy for river systems to fill up and flood, and it needs to happen. The great thing for us is it stayed within the riverbanks. It did generate some conversation with Judge and myself and Tim yesterday, us deciding specifically with this building and the fact that this building could potentially flood if the river comes out of its banks. At what point do we want to make the decision to, hey, we need to get things evacuated out of the basement, out of those kind of things. And we're having those conversations and we're going to make that, but we're using the data that we have to make that decision. And so I just wanted everybody to kind of know where we were. But again, it was a beautiful rain event this weekend. We just need more on the southern end of the county now. And so I know Tim's going to come up and talk about it a little bit. It's really going to play havoc with our burn ban situation because our average is going to look really good here in a little bit. But we're going to have the wet end of the county, and then we're still going to have the dry end of the county. So I'll let Tim speak more to that. But other than that, thank you very much.
Thank you. And if you would put those river gauges are open to the public to view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, you can get on the LNRA site. You can get on the NOAA site. Sorry for all the acronyms. And so you can see those anywhere. And then the Flood Alert app, it's just an app on your phone. You get on there. You can look at it and see where the rivers are. It marks the rivers for you, and you just hit the button, and it pulls up and shows you exactly what's going on with that river location. So,
and can you tell us, is it all computer generated as far as the modeling that goes and the forecasting of the river crest?
Yeah. So is there some? Say it's computer generated. It's historically generated. So what it does is it takes historical weather events that have happened along the river, and so like I can look at any point. Like let's say I move that dial to. I want to know how many times the river here at Lavaca has gotten to 18 feet in the last 10 years. I just make that data point on there. It'll tell me, okay, the river has risen here 8 times in the last 10 years. It'll tell you that. So it's really, really good data that you can use to make not only educated decisions, but fairly accurate decisions on when those things need to happen. So it's very good information, and we are monitoring. I'm tracking it and keeping track of all this. So yes, sir.
Would you give us the name of that app again?
It's called Flood Alert.
Flood Alert.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Okay.
And it looks like you see the picture. It looks like a little. It says Flood Alert. It's got like a little gauge on it. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. I'll put it on my phone.
How long does it take the water that's, let's say, between Breslau and Moulton, if it's at 6 foot over there, how long does it take that water to get to this bridge?
So a great question, and I don't have time to go into the science of it right now. You know, those of you that know, I was a science teacher before I became principal, before I did all this. So the biggest thing that saved us yesterday, that helped us yesterday, is the flood basin was empty. Okay, all the rain happened above us. We had no flood drain behind, so the water had plenty of time. It had everything it needed to drain. When we're going to run into a problem is when the flood basin is full. Because then water can't flow, and so water has 2 choices. It can come up and it can go out. So the great thing was we had nothing below us. Great to catch it. Unfortunately, I don't think any of this water is going to make it to Texana, because God, if you had been in Texana lately, it needs it, and also all the way down to the coast. But to answer your question, Edward, it really depends on that. It depends on the volume of water that's already in the river. But I can tell you this particular time, okay, not knowing exactly, because those were offline at Kaminsky, it took about, from the time the rain event happened on Sunday, it took about, I'll tell you this, I was at the 198 bridge and the 196 bridge at 4:30. We had no flow, we had no water yet. That was at 4:30. At 6:30, my alarm went off here at Hallettsville. So a very large swath wall of water came down, and it came down about, so I would say we're looking from Moulton to here, probably about 6 hours, during a rain event. But we also know this. We know that from historical values that provided we don't get 10 or more inches in a 24-hour period north of us, we're fairly safe from flooding here. We got, like I said, we got 7, 8 over that period of time, and we went to 17. Minimum flood stage is 27 here in Hallettsville.
So if
we're
we
still
got
10
the
feet.
same amount of rain here as they did there,
That could have created more problems.
Right.
Yes, absolutely, because the water wouldn't have had anywhere to go.
All bets are off of that.
Yeah, where we're really going to see a problem is in a tropical storm hurricane event, where we've got rain, from the coast inward, where all of our flood basins are full of water. That's where we're going to have a problem. So, but yeah, for right now though, the river's handling it well, and whatever, I'm not sure the details, but what was done a few years ago in terms of clearing the river and stuff, it's certainly doing its job. So, okay,
All right.
all right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other announcements, public comments? Going once, twice, 3 times? Nothing else. Okay. All right. Then we'll get into our action agenda items. Number 2, discuss and approve the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office impound vehicle fees. And that says waiting at my bench is what it says here. Anybody want to walk us through it, Captain?
Morning, Commissioners. Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Captain.
All right. So at the Sheriff's Office, we updated and enlarged our vehicle impound lot. It's a fenced-in area that's been integrated in with our security at the jail, including cameras, heat entry. That's to keep items that we put in there safe, right? So it's going to include seized vehicles and now vehicles that the Sheriff's Office tows as part of our enforcement. And that's going to be to keep unsafe vehicles off the roadway, vehicles that are in not safe operable condition. We arrest a violator off the street and get it towed. We can now act as a vehicle storage facility, or a VSF is what PDLR calls it. And all these fees are regulated by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. If you'll look to the sheet that we provided, that includes a daily storage fee, which is determined by the length of the vehicle, whether or not it's under or over 25 feet. Notification fees include all notifications and publications in reference to contacting the registered owner or lien holders that we are in possession of that vehicle, and a one-time daily impound fee, and then also a governmental or law enforcement fee, or also known as an admin fee. On top of those charges, individuals can be charged to recoup any towing fees. So if we have to call a tow truck wrecker out, they charge us X amount of dollars to release that vehicle to the owner. Once that vehicle is roadworthy or licensed or out of jail, they have to pay back the actual towing charges. So all that gets accumulated up, and ultimately they pay that amount of money to get their vehicle out of impound. That can include also requiring them to have insurance, to get that vehicle registered correctly, or again, get some equipment issues fixed so the vehicle is actually safe to be driven on the roadways.
All right, do you hear a motion?
I so move. I'll make that motion to approve the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office impound vehicle fee schedule.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office impound vehicle fee schedule. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Number 3, discuss and approve proposal to establish a therapy canine Lavaca County Sheriff's Office mental health unit. I believe I saw an officer with a vest on walk in.
All right, so on this agenda item, we would like to seek y'all's approval to establish a therapy crisis incident response team, also known as CERT canine program. You come on up. You saw her come in, but well-behaved canine. You wouldn't even know he was in the room. So this is Ollie. Ollie is a 7-year-old golden doodle. We propose to send him to an obedience training. It's a 40-hour therapy canine certification program. Following that completion, he would have a little bit more training to accomplish to be certified. Ultimately, we would use these canine as part of the mental health response program that we've implemented here at the Sheriff's Office. During mental health transports, the canine would accompany the deputy in the vehicle to assist in calming individuals being transported to treatment facilities. Many individuals experiencing a mental health crisis or emotional distress experience significant anxiety during transport or hospitalization. The presence of a trained therapy dog can reduce agitation, improve cooperation, and provide emotional comfort during these difficult situations. Ollie would be another tool in our tool belt to assist in the mission of the mental health deputy program, helping with de-escalation, emotional stabilization, school crisis support, victim trauma support, and community engagement. This morning, Ollie met a group of second graders that came in toward the sheriff's office, so they really enjoyed that. We've started it off kind of as a pilot program. Ollie's been around just for a little while until we get permission to send him to the required trainings and things like that. A few of the needs that we're going to see moving forward would include a vehicle kennel transport system, so that Ollie's just not riding a shotgun in the front seat. Beyond that, I will let Deputy Kyle speak just a little bit into how she sees Ollie's ability to help her in her daily duties.
Okay.
And I'll take him from her. I'm a pet dog.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we had an idea of what we wanted to utilize Ollie for. A big thing for me is transports. Our nearest mental health facilities are an hour and a half to 2 hours away, sometimes longer. That's a long time to be transporting somebody that's in a crisis. There's nobody in the back to talk to them and help them get through this crisis while we're doing the transport, because I need to focus on the road. I rode out with San Marcos Police Department, and they have this canine program. And I was able to view their kennel in the back and how the dog is able to sit in the back with the person that's being transported. They can still view the dog. They can't touch the dog. They can't hurt the dog, but it's just there to give them some comfort during that difficult transport while they're already going through some mental health concerns. So that was initially my hope for him. And as we've kind of taking him out in the community just to see how he gets along with everyone. Some temperament testings. The schools have reached out to me. So we went to Sweet Home yesterday. STAR testing is extremely stressful for the kiddos. They asked if we would please come by because they began testing today. When we got there, the 5th grade class had some students that were already crying due to frustration from STAR testing. The teachers allowed him to take a break. We took Ollie in. He went to each individual student, and immediately the tears stopped. They were mentally prepared for tomorrow. We went to every single classroom that's going to be testing today. And from the teachers to the kiddos, everyone was just like, oh, I feel better. The nurse even came in. She had had a rough day and she asked if she could pet Ollie. So it's not just the kiddos, it's the adults as well. So while we have an idea of how we'd like to use them, just like our mental health unit, I think it's going to be, ever growing as the needs of the community, which we like. The community is very good about telling us what they need, and we respond accordingly. So that's our goal with Ollie.
My biggest question is, other than dog food, does Ollie have any salary requirements?
Just lots of treats and pets. And Dispatch does that for him. They have a treat station, so he is well fed salary-wise. So yeah, there's no requirements with him. He does go home with me, so I take on all of that responsibility. So
All right.
That was going to be my question. He'll be housed with you?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good deal.
Is there any other any other requests is attached to this attached to this proposal?
No, the training that is required is free. The obedience training that I
Okay.
spoke about.
That's
Other
a key,
than-
that was a key component of this proposal. It's free.
Yeah,
Okay.
the in-car kennel for the patrol vehicle would be a cost. That's to be determined, the cost of it, depending on the different types that we can find. Obviously, we've ridden with these other agencies that are incorporating canines into their program. We're making those contacts, so we have something to go off of. But I would say within a few $1,000s a kennel. And then also just a heat alarm system. So if you've ever seen, you might see it in more often in drug dogs or patrol dogs they're housed in vehicles. There's actually an alarm system incorporated into those vehicles that monitors the temperature on the inside, so that if the handler or person responsible for that canine is away from the vehicle and the vehicle shuts off, the air conditioner is just not keeping up in the Texas heat. It monitors that, and at a certain temperature range, it actually sounds off the alarm, flashes the lights, rolls down the back windows that have bars to prevent the canine from getting out, but ultimately alerts the handler and the public so they can look for the handler to keep the dog safe. Those are the two upfront fees that we can really think of.
All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion. I'll hear a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1, to approve the proposal to establish a Therapy K-9 Lavaca County Sheriff's Office Mental Health Unit. And again, that was found on pages 1 through 7. Any other questions or comments? Anyway, thank you, Brittany, for all you're doing.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We see you out there working. I hear you on those calls, and we're proud of you. So thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, item number 4, discuss and approve resolution to apply for the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority Grant, MVCPA, for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. And that's also at the bench.
So this is one agenda item for one grant process through the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority, MVCPA. However, you'll see 2 resolutions in front of you. That's because the MVCPA has 2 grants open at this time. It's the Catalytic Converter Theft Prevention Grant, and then also a task force grant program. Depending on what you put in and how they evaluate the grant process during the application phase will direct which direction we go, if not both. Ultimately, this grant will help pay for anything ranging from equipment, technology, actual positions, vehicles, anything to do with vehicle theft, catalytic converter theft, vehicle burglary, and those types of crimes. This specific grant requires a 20% match, so they will handle 80% of the cost of what you apply for, and then the county would then put forth 20% of those purchases. We foresee using this grant for equipment, possibly including a vehicle, and also technology related expenses, such as license plate reader technology. I would note that the Hallettsville Police Department is currently a participant in the MVCPA. They've had really good luck with the grant and then what it can provide as far as equipment goes, as well as going to a grant workshop recently, which is a requirement of the application process. I've met several of our surrounding counties and police departments that are all getting on board with this grant. So it's going to be a great network of law enforcement agencies cooperating together, ultimately to combat vehicle theft.
Okay. You're here, motion to,
Your Honor, I move that we approve a resolution to apply for the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grant for Lavaca County Sheriff's Office.
I second that.
okay. Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the resolution to apply for the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grant for the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Any other questions or comments?
Just one quick.
Go ahead.
Sure.
State or federal?
Okay, so MVCPA distributes their funding through the grant process. Ultimately, they're backed by Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. And so they're the kind of the fiduciary of that group. So it's a state thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I'm glad it's a state grant, less paperwork.
All right. Without any other questions or comments, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Thank you, Josh. We got one last one here, I think, for the sheriff's office, or there may be another. Is that all? We're trying to group these in together, so I think this is your last sheriff's item. Discuss and approve hiring a temporary part-time administrative assistant to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. There's no paperwork attached to that. Want to walk us through the needs?
So
I know the needs are there, but
So
you want to walk us through
for
it?
the past year, we've assessed and evaluated the business processes of the sheriff's office. With that, we found that if it can be on paper, it's on paper. We have filing cabinets and filing cabinets and filing cabinets full of any type of record you can think of, spanning from the jail to investigative. Right now, we're transitioning some office space in the sheriff's office and needing to get rid of the vast majority of those paper documents. Part of that is going to be digitizing those paper documents, having someone come in and pretty much scan all those records so that we can still have some retention in place, but that the paper copies that aren't needed anymore can be disposed of. Our filing cabinets could fill up this room.
Okay.
So that's what that person will be doing on a part-time basis.
So I think we're at the midway point of our budget cycle, so we're 6 months to go roughly. I assuming y'all got some open positions and some things that it's open positions or creates excess budget sometimes. So
Correct.
Is there some excess budget there that we can move over to?
There is,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Right.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. And then again, all positions in Lavaca County across the board are set by this court. So if we choose to let him add a part-time position, and we're going to say this is a part-time, we're saying temporary part-time administrative assistant for the remainder of this fiscal year. And then next budget cycle, we'll go back and determine what your needs are. That's the way I understand it?
Yes, sir. And while we do have administrative employees at this time, it's just so much work. There's such a large volume of documents that realistically the staff that we have on hand can accomplish this and take care of their normal day-to-day duties. So adding this additional person would help us meet these goals.
I think the court as a whole may not be fully aware of what we've done or what they've done at the sheriff's office. We're in the process of expanding the dispatch console area. So we've essentially taken away a file storage location and a meeting room to accommodate the growing dispatch department and their needs to expand. And so we've got a bunch of file cabinets for the life of criminal activity or jail activity in Lavaca County. Those have to be stored. And so now we're going to try to digitize that and free up that space. it's been a couple years since we've toured the jail. I think it'd be some point in the future, maybe when we get a little closer with the dispatch. What's the timeline on your dispatch project, getting it up and?
Right now, I believe we just finished up the plumbing portion of it. Drywall's been put up. We're going to be doing floors pretty soon.
Okay.
I don't have a hard set date on a finish, but it's
Or
moving along now.
End of May, June, maybe?
What's
June,
that?
maybe end of May or June?
Summertime.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
summertime.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay. I definitely, I've sat with you, Sheriff and Carl enough, and I've toured over there. There's definitely the need to hire this person, to have them come in dedicated to the digitizing of the records. I see it, at least. So with that, do I hear a motion?
Yes, so approved.
Okay.
Second.
Motion from precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to approve hiring a temporary part-time administrative assistant to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. What we have not included is a salary range for a part-time employee, but not to exceed,
$20 now.
okay, not to exceed that. Not to, and so we'll add that additional. Add that to the motion. Okay, not to exceed $20. Okay, so discuss and approve. We got motion made by precinct 1, seconded by precinct 2, approving hiring a temporary part-time administrative assistant to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office, not to exceed $20 per hour for the remainder of the fiscal year. The way y'all understand it?
Yes.
Motion made by precinct 1, precinct 2, seconded that. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. All right. Everyone's favorite subject, especially now that it rained. Mr. Tim Decker, are you in the building? Chief Decker, you come forward. Number 6 is to discuss and approve the burn ban status. And I hope you have a great update, and you've spoken with all 6 fire departments in Lavaca County.
All right. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. So, like Coordinator Morelli said, we did receive a good rain, one that we've been needing for a good while. And I don't want to impede on the south of the county, but a lot of people caught tank water. This was the rain we truly needed for runoff, to kind of soak in. So as he stated, the north side of the county got anywhere between 4 and 8 inches. So that's good. Our KBDI, as of yesterday, it hasn't updated today yet. We still got about another 30 minutes to see where we're at, but we're at 420 for the average. We're on the low side, at like between lower than 20 really. And on the high side, our average is still about 646. So you can see the drastic change. If you look on the map, the whole top side of the county is blue, which is great. It's pretty to see. But we still have some dry side on the south side, mainly kind of the Crossroads area, Terryville back that way. So we do still have some dry areas. But I spoke with all the fire chiefs. They're all in approval of lifting the ban. One thing we talk about is the numbers that we go by in the KBDI. We talked about summertime and wintertime numbers. And so summertime, our hit number is 500, right? We start seeing a lot of crispy grass, if you will, bottom moisture that tends to leave at that 500 mark during the summer months. And those numbers day to day, when we're up in the hundreds, can jump between 5 and 10 points a day. During the winter months, we don't have quite the heat. It doesn't draw it out of the moisture as much. We stay around that 550 mark. Well, May 1st is the date that the fire chiefs have selected to move to the 500 mark. So that being said, at 420, we want to be able to take that burn ban off, to be able to give a small break, because by the time we get to May 1st, we're probably going to be over 500, if not at that 550 mark anyway, but that number adjusts down to 500. So all the fire chiefs are in conjunction saying that they would like to lift the ban to be able to give that opportunity. Obviously, with this moisture that's come, we're going to have some fresh green growth on the ground. That's going to inhibit some spread on the north, while we are still at risk on the south side. We do have our 6 fire departments with Ezel now coming on. So we do have good coverage in those areas, but we still want to warn everybody, when you're out burning, take the precautions, skirt around your fires, call them into the sheriff's office so we know what we're going out to. The north side, we're all grand and dandy, and congratulations to those guys, but we still worry about the south side. So we're not gonna inhibit that for the north side because the south side is dry, but we just ask for everybody, whether north or south, to be safe when you're burning. So the fire chiefs are in conjunction that we will lift the ban at this time if you guys decide to do so. And then we will continue to reconvene as we move through that. But that's the recommendation from the Fire Chiefs Association.
Hear a motion from the court to lift the burn ban.
I would make that motion.
I heard 3 and 1. All right, so motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1 to approve lifting the burn ban that's currently enacted. Any other questions or comments? The only thing I would say is I concur with Chief Decker and the court and the fire chiefs to lift the burn ban, but use extreme caution in those areas, especially that are well above the 600 something KBDI. There's some spots in Lavaca County that did not get much rain.
Yes, sir. And it's going to continue to rise.
What are hot spots? Sweet Home.
Basically southwest corner of the county is the driest. If you look at the map, and I'll try to print it off and send it to you guys this afternoon, you can see that's our driest area. Along that side, kind of where Jackson, Colorado County is, there's actually a little bit of moisture lingering there, so it's not quite as bad. But everything basically south of Sweet Home, Speaks, Terryville, the Crossroads is still pretty dry. And that number is going to continue to rise, which is going to bring our number up.
Okay, good deal. All right, thank you very much.
If I can, right quick, Judge, I just want to mention a few things. With our 6 fire departments, we've seen a small uptick in structure fires. So we always come to the Commissioner's Court and talk about grass fires. Here in the recent past, probably within the last month, we've had several structure fires. And I don't want to keep everybody too long, but we want to bring some awareness to the community about structure fires as well too. A lot of this has come with people leaving things on the stove. During the storm, of course, last week, let me start there. Last week, a Molten Fire responded to a trailer fire. They were able to put it out, but that person was out of their home for that duration. We also had 2 structure fires in Yoakum now. One had to do with something left on the stove, and the other one, unfortunately, the house is going to have to probably be gutted and redone. So kudos to those departments for doing that. During the storm, we actually had a structure fire in Shiner as well too that we responded to. It was a house that was struck by lightning, and by the way it looks like it backfed through the electrical system and started a fire. We actually had a lady that was trapped, an elderly female, who was trapped in that structure fire. Shiner PD Sergeant Colleen, I actually heard the call come out, responded from the city. The city was gracious enough to let those guys be able to respond out in critical incidences. And they were able to get there just before the fire department and pull her out to safety during that fire. And then shortly thereafter, the fire was put out. But some of these things are accidental. Obviously, they're not intentional. Some of these things happen by nature. But we want to kind of keep that awareness of while we always talk about grass fires, there's also the structural component that we want to make sure that everybody's being safe with. And so we're gonna continue to try to put some information out, emergency management wise, and myself, as far as kind of some safety things to think about when you're in your homes, closing your doors to help compartmentalize fire and smoke when things happen. And in the instance with this elderly lady, with this female in Shiner, that actually is probably what saved her life, is that she was closing doors behind her, and we were able to compartmentalize that fire and that smoke, which helped her have some fresh air to be able to breathe for the responders to get there to get her out. And so kudos to each and every one of our fire departments and the members that they're there. They put themselves at risk each and every day. And the thing about them is that they don't know what they're going to be doing today, whether they're going to go to work or they're going to be rescuing somebody out that structure fire. So again, if you have time, your volunteers in your area, reach out to them, shake their hand, because they truly do it for little to nothing. And they run in while people run out. So just kudos to those departments.
And kudos to Sergeant Kalina, correct?
Yes, Sergeant Kalina and Shiner PD.
Sergeant Kalina, Shiner
Yes,
PD. Job
Yeah.
well done.
So thank you guys.
All right. Thank y'all. All right, we've got a motion on the floor from precinct 3, second by precinct 1, to approve lifting the burn ban. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. The burn ban has now been lifted. We have an order prepared, and we will sign it here shortly. That's effective immediately. All right, number 7, discuss and approve the renewal of Lavaca County's 2026-2027 property contents coverage with the Texas Association of Counties Risk Management Pool. That's brought to you by our auditor's office, found on page 8 through 15. Ms. Sheila, you want to say anything?
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Auditor.
And for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Sheila Velasquez, the auditor. I'm just recently been instated as auditor. This is the Texas Association of Counties property renewal. We are just asking to use Texas Association of Counties once again. As you see on the attachment that was provided, one of the questions it asks is if you plan to undergo any construction for buildings. The courthouse being as, you know, our security implementation, moving the doors, that kind of thing. I did list that in there. They also asked for a completion date, which is also unknown due to the historical commission kind of slowing us down.
Right.
So that is listed there just kind of as this is what we plan on doing. There were 3 major changes that we are doing. We did not change more. Every 5 years, the county is required to have their structures reevaluated for the contents, building value, all of that kind of stuff. So that will be occurring this summer. They will be coming out, re-looking at all the facilities and going forward on what it would cost if that building was damaged so that we're covered properly. The 3 major changes was mostly in regard to the EMS Station 1. There are 2 40-foot Connex boxes listed there. One of them houses spare communication equipment. This was previously not on our property insurance. That communication equipment is fairly expensive, so we wanted to cover that equipment. The other one also houses spare medical equipment because their facility is kind of outgrown itself there, so they needed a spot to store extra medical equipment. So definitely wanted to have that insured as well. So both of those Connex boxes have been added. Another was last year, Medic 2 went through court to be approved. The thing on an ambulance is if the equipment is not permanently attached, so your stretcher, it goes out of the ambulance to take the person into the hospital. If it's not permanently attached, it's not covered on our vehicle insurance. So through TAC and working with them, they said that any of those contents, the life-saving medical equipment, the blood units, everything like that, it's not covered under vehicle insurance, therefore has to be covered on property insurance as a content value. So where the ambulance is primarily housed, this one being specifically here in Hallettsville at Station 1, we have increased that by $216,000 to cover that equipment that is considered removable, but yet is very expensive if something was to happen to that ambulance. So we did increase that as well. Other than that, all structures have remained the same until we can get that appraisal done this summer.
Okay. All right. I know we have the annex parking lot coming up. All right. So is that is this approval based on a fiscal year basis or a calendar year basis, or is it, how does that work as far as?
It doesn't flow with our fiscal year, but it is a calendar year starting effective July 1st.
Okay. All right.
So
And so
July to
if we need to
July.
make, because I know we've got a lot of things we're talking about behind the scenes for the next fiscal year. So I guess we report as in real time to make those adjustments.
For sure. Yeah. No, this is just any major, really expensive things that could cause some issues. You know, by moving the doors and implementing extra, there's wiring, there's things that could kind of go. A parking lot, you'll have maybe a threat to the public, but you're not going to have something that could cause a structure fire or some catastrophic event.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Any questions or comments? I know Mr. Insurance Man is going to.
No, I promise I'll be sure. I just appreciate you monitoring the rentals. I forget sometimes that we do have to add those to coverage, and then you go on in and remove those, and I appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank you.
you did see a few listed there. I'm having those removed. Just try to let the auditor's office know when y'all return those things. Sometimes it kind of slips by the wayside. So yeah, we'll do a little better job in trying to monitor that.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman
Yeah.
Sheila.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I so moved.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the renewal of Lavaca County's 2026-2027 property contents coverage with the Texas Association of Counties Risk Management Pool. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 8, discuss and approve awarding bids for the following Lavaca County roads. That's found on page 16 through 18. I'm going to I don't have the county roads listed, but I'm going to, Mr. Kenny Ziegler, you
I
going to
have it. Yeah,
walk
I
us
have it
through it?
right here. Okay. This year on our seal coating and resealing of our roads, we had 3 bidders. The first one was Matagorda Construction and Materials. They have 6 options, and it's all by the square yard. It starts, option 1 is $3.35 a square yard. Option 2 is $1.65 a square yard. Option 3 is $5 a square yard. Option 4 is $2.30 a square yard. Option 5 is $2.05 a square yard, and option 6 is $5.25. And the next one is bid number 1828, Texas Road and Paving Incorporated. Option 1 was $1.90 a square yard. Option 2 was 97 cents a square yard. Option 3 was $3.74 a square yard. Option 4 is $1.82 a square yard. Option 5 is $1.75 a square yard. Option 6 was $5.26 a square yard. And the last one was bid number 1831, H&C Construction. Option 1 was $1.69 a square yard. Option 2 was 85 cents a square yard. Option 3 was $3.30 a square yard. Option 4 was $1.60 a square yard. Option 5 was $1.55 a square yard. And option 6 is $6 a square yard. And they had prices on MC30 oil, that's the Primar Roads. Matagorda, bid number 1827 was $3.50 a gallon. Bid number 1828, Texas Road and Paving, was $3.95 a gallon. And H&C bid number 1831 was $5.25 a gallon. I would like to go ahead and, if y'all are happy with it, I'd like to stick with H&C because option 1 and option 3 are the ones we usually use the most out of them. So I'd like to turn that into a motion to accept that again for another year.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all right. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2, to accept the purchase of seal coating and resealing for Lavaca County roads, bid number 1831 to H&C Construction. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Do you have some other items?
Okay, yes, we have gravel and post oak pit run with red binders and also screen. The first one is bid number 1826, Pahoda Gravel. That is precinct 1 is 1675 a ton. Precinct 2 is 1775 a ton. Precinct 3 and 4 are also 1675 a ton. And pickup is plant is 775 a ton. Bid number 1829, Fred's Contract Store. Precinct 1 is $20.54 a ton. Precinct 2 is $22.58 a ton. Precinct 3 is $18.50 a ton, and precinct 4 is $17.14 a ton, with $10 to pick up at plant. And all of those are delivered to our respective stockpiles. I'd like to turn that into make a motion to accept Pahoda Gravel and Fred's Store bid number 1826 and 1829.
So your motion is to accept both bids?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. There is a second?
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2, to accept both bids of gravel post oak pit run with red binder per ton delivered. And that's accepting bids number 1826 and 1829 for Pahoda Gravel and Fred's Contract, it says. All right.
Okay, next one is gravel.
Hold on, we didn't vote on that. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Okay,
Next one.
the next one is gravel post oak pit run, pit screened 1.5 inches and down with red binder. All these bids will be delivered to our respective stockpiles and a pickup at plant. First one is bid number again, 1826 Pahoda Gravel. Precinct 1 stockpile is $18.75 a ton. Precinct 2 stockpile is $19.75 per ton. Precinct 3 is $18.75 per ton. Precinct 4 is also $18.75 a ton. Pickup at plant is $8.25 a ton. And the next one is again Fred's store, bid number 1829. Hallettsville stockpile is $23.04 per ton. Precinct 2 is 25.88 cents a ton. Precinct 3 stockpile is $21 a ton. Precinct 4 stockpile is $19.64 per ton. And pickup at plant is $12.50 per ton. And I'd like to turn that into a motion to accept both Prohoda gravel, 1826, and Fred's contract, 1829.
Okay.
I second that motion.
Motion made by precinct 3, second again by precinct 2, to accept bids for the gravel post oak pit screen 1 1/2 inches and down with red binder per, price per ton delivered to, specific locations, and accept both bids of, 1826 Prohoda gravel and 1829 Fred's contract. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Okay,
Next one.
we're gonna go back to, pit run with red binder. And, this is gonna be delivered to any county road in any respective precinct. First one is again, bid number 1826 Prohoda gravel. Precinct 1, any county road, $17.25. Precinct 2, any county roads, $18.75. Precinct 3, any county road, $17.25. And precinct 4, any county road is $17.25. Fred's contract bid number 1829 is precinct 1, any road, $22.92 a ton. Precinct 2, any road, $24.96 a ton. Precinct 3, any county roads, $20.88 a ton. Precinct 4, any county road, $20.52 a ton. And I'd like to turn this into a motion to accept bid number 1826 Prohoda gravel, bid number 1829 Fred's contract.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2, to accept the bids on, for pit run delivered to specific any county road locations, and to accept, bid number 1826 and bid number 1829, which is, Prohoda gravel on one and Fred's contract on the other. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That bid has been accepted. All right,
Last one. Screen gravel delivered to any location, any county road. Precinct 1, $18.75 per ton. That's Fred's contract, bid number 1826, I'm sorry. Precinct 2, any road, $19.75 per ton. Precinct 3, $19.25 a ton. Precinct 4, $19.25 per ton. Bid number 1829, Fred's contract, precinct 1, any road, $25.42 per ton. Precinct 2, any county road, $27.46 per ton. Precinct 3, any county road, $23.38 per ton. And precinct 4, any county road, $22 a ton. Again, I'd like to turn this into a motion and accept both bids number 1826 and 1829.
I'll second that motion.
okay. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 on the screen delivery of gravel to, any county road locations. And, the motion was made to award both bids of 1826 and 1829. And that was Prohoda gravel and Fred's contract. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. That concludes our gravel post oak with red binder. Do we have anything else?
Yes, we have concrete and labor bids. There was only one bidder for precinct 2. It's JRC Concrete. And he has, it's 12 locations. He's the only bidder.
I think we can surmise it.
Yeah.
Unless there's something you're kicking out.
No, you kicking anything out, Wayne?
No,
No.
not anything up.
Okay.
I'll just make a motion to accept JRC Concrete bid number 1830 for all the work in precinct 2.
Okay.
Second?
All right. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 for the concrete and labor bids to accept bid number 1830 JRC Concrete and to accept all 12 bids and 12 locations. Correct?
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Any comments?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Some of these projects are TxDOT driven. They go in and check the underpinnings of the bridges and the crossings. And so some of this is based on their recommendations. And so we've been able to, it started out much more elaborate than where we are today. We were able to negotiate with them and get them to work with us in terms of, finding creative solutions to these problems. So part of that is engrossed within this 12 bid package.
And I will say, seemingly over the last several years, we're becoming more aligned with TxDOT, working with them on our roads. The engineers, we're very blessed that we have a regional engineer over 11 counties offices in Yoakum. They're welcome. They're always welcome. They're gracious to give us advice and advisement on some of these projects.
Yeah, they really are. They've been very gracious with it. And I hope we can extend that, maybe even do some equipment purchases as they update their their fleet, that we can probably take advantage of that. And so, but these bridges, and Barbara's well aware of this, on County Road 248. The average price is between $750,000 and $1 million. What it takes to replace these bridges, because I mean, when they finish, it's first class. I mean, it's going to outlive me and most of the folks around me for a long time because it's done right. And these bridges they're replacing are basically flat cars that were welded together, and so it's going to be much safer. And it'll be much more durable than what we have now. So I'm excited about that. They use federal fuel tax money for that. So Texas is the donor state. The federal government has about 20 billion of our money that they get from the sale of fuel, diesel and gasoline. Those are the taxes that go. And so we get part of that back through TxDOT, and TxDOT administers that to county roads. So I feel like we're very blessed to have that.
Great. All right. And a motion for precinct 3, second by precinct 2 to approve the concrete and labor bids for precinct 2. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We should be going faster here, I think, through this the back 9, as they say at the Masters tournament. Number 9, discuss and approve awarding bids for Lavaca County roads for County Road number 1, number 211, number 392, and 461. That's the improvement project with the GLO, for the GLO contract number 24-065-129-E987. Anybody want to walk us through this one?
Yes, I'd like to just ask the judge and commissioners. We received our final results yesterday at 5:30 from our engineers. So I would ask if we could table this one.
Final recommendation.
Final recommendation.
We received the engineer's recommendation of bid awardees. We have not spoke with them, so we need to talk to them.
No,
Okay.
yes.
So
I have a couple
motion
of
to table?
questions. Motion, I'll make a motion to table it.
Okay.
Table it.
I will second that motion.
All right. Item number 9, we have a motion to table from precinct 3, second by precinct 2. All those in favor of tabling number 9 to the next court session say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Item number 10. I should say, motion passes. On number 9, the motion to table passes. So we will table number 9 till next court session. All right, item number 10, discuss and approve OASYS access agreement between TAC Health and Employee Benefits Pool in Lavaca County, brought to you by our auditor, found on page 19. Sorry for not grouping yours in order, but we're giving you a break in between.
No, it's all good. We use the Texas Association of Counties for our health and benefits pool. What this form is, it's an online administrative assistance, so OA system. It allows us to enroll, change, and make any dependent and employee changes to your health plan and benefits, as well as download monthly invoices. Shayna was previously on this, so I am now stepping in, putting my name on this. I've put Brooke Presley on here as she is Lavaca County's payroll and probationary backup, and then Michelle Party, who is probation payroll and Lavaca County backup.
Gotcha. All right, do you hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
And I'll second that.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 to approve the OASYS access agreement between TAC Health and Employee Benefits Pool in Lavaca County. Any other questions or comments? Excuse me. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 11, declare the following items as surplus property for the Lavaca County Precinct 3 Commissioner. That is tag number 3079, a 2009 International 6x4 truck tractor with the last four VINs of 6737. And also tag number 3022, it's a 2004 Caterpillar 120H motor grader with the last VIN of 0342. Do you hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1 to declare the following items as surplus property from the Lavaca County Precinct 3 Commissioner. That is an asset tag number 3079, a 2009 International 6x4 truck tractor with a VIN number of 3HSCEAPR 49N126737, and a asset tag number 3022, a 2004 Caterpillar 120H motor grader with a VIN number of CATO 120HVCA F00342. Hope y'all got all that. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That property has now been surplused. All right, number 12, discuss and approve addendum number 18 between Local Government Solutions LP and the Lavaca County Attorney's Office to include adding one full-time user. That's brought to you on page 21 through 22. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve addendum 18 between the Local Government Solutions LP and Lavaca County Attorney's Office and add an additional full-time user.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve addendum number 18 between Local Government Solutions LP and the Lavaca County Attorney's Office to include one full-time user. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 13, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Road and Ranch found on precinct 1. That's found on page 23 through 26. Naylene, you want to walk us through it?
Yes, Bystone Ranch Partners LLC owns a 370-acre tract. As of right now, they are in phase 1. They cut out 25 5-acre tracts. So they are requesting a certificate of exemption from the subdivision requirements based upon that all of the tracts will have direct access to County Road 15AA.
Okay.
They will be coming back to Commissioner's Court for phase 2, by the way.
Okay, there's a lot of tracks out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be more.
All right. Any other questions or comments, or do we have a motion?
I move we approve the exemption.
I second that.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Road and Ranch. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion is approved. That item is approved. Number 14, discuss and approve acknowledging the appointment of Veronica Herrera as Chief Deputy for the District Clerk's Office effective March 19th, 2026. That's out of the District Clerk's Office, and I know they are busy upstairs in District Court. Do I hear a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1 to approve acknowledging the appointment of Veronica Herrera as Chief Deputy for the District Clerk's Office effective March 19th, 2026. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 15, discuss and approve resolution between Texas Department of Transportation and Lavaca County for the replacement of bridges located on county roads. That's found on page 27 through 31. I assume this came out of TxDOT, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I move we approve this resolution between the Texas Department of Transportation and Lavaca County for the replacement of bridges located on county roads.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the resolution between Texas Department of Transportation and Lavaca County for the replacement of bridges located on county roads. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And that leads us right into number 16. I was going to, that's it. Number 16. Number 16 is our consent agenda. Unless a member of the court requests a separate consideration of any items, all under the consent agenda are considered to be of routine nature or have been previously deliberated by the court in an open meeting and therefore may be approved by one motion, second, and vote. Do I hear such motion?
I approve or make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
All right. Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the consent agenda as provided. Any other questions or comments? Anything needs to be removed? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes. The consent is approved. Our microphones will go off while we're signing paperwork. All right. Is there any other business of the court? Hearing none, then we will go to our final item of the day, which is to announce the next meeting. Our next court meeting will be April 27th, 2026. I believe that's a Monday. It's a Monday at 9 a.m. right here in this courtroom. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Your Honor, I know we could go on and on, but I'd like to make a motion.
To
Close this meeting.
do I hear a second? Second. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 2 to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned till May 27th. Thank you very much for participating today.